You've heard of unconditional love, but have you heard of the secret to unconditional happiness and allowing more into your life? More wealth, more success, and more love. More freedom in your life right now. Welcome to the Happy Bar with Israel Savage.
It's the gap between and the dance between desire and belief. And anytime you have a desire, it's the closing of that gap between the desire and the belief that allows it to manifest.
Right.
It is this process of allowing, and as soon as it manifests, then there's a new desire, and there's a new gap between where your belief is and where it will rise. And it's just like a dance. I was thinking earlier today, if you've ever asked someone to dance or wanted someone to ask you to dance, and you've waited there on the dance floor, or you've waited for them to ask you, that's what your desire is doing, holding a spot for you until you come to the dance floor, and it's a process of closing that gap. But once you're together, the desire and the belief is together, then there's nothing better than a dance partner who's in rhythm, in sync with you.
Well, it also seems like, which is why I say things always work out, like that resistance that I feel, or the, desire and belief not quite being matched up yet. Once it is, it's just I find that there is such a flow. Like, I feel like it's so connected to just a trust. It was sort of, several weeks ago, you probably remember, I had daffodils that I hadn't planted and I had wanted to, and I did plant them. And one of them was so old, like 2 years old. I've sat on them and those aren't doing much. I'm not sure if they're going to grow, but I did end up planting them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, it is clicking, that kind of worry of living in the future. And I also feel like maybe a part of it too is, that pleaser in me that wants to be nice and not let people down and, be pleasant. So that might be a little small piece of, the audition process, not upsetting work.
Yeah, it's letting go. It truly is letting go. The more that you can detach from outcomes and just hold a hopeful expectation of where it is that you will eventually be, the more you start to close that gap between belief and desire. And so, in other words, if you focus, I think we talked about this in improvisation class, or it came up, I can't remember if it was then or another time. If you focus on the now, what's happening in the now, and you give that your attention, then you're going to get more of now, And so if there is something that's bothering you or worrying you, or a thought that doesn't feel good, the more you focus on that thought, the more it becomes, versus holding a hopeful expectation of where you want to be and how emotionally and how you want to feel, and just gliding through, just letting these things kind of flow through you. We did talk about this in improvisation. It passes right through you. Right. It only sticks. These obstacles that we come up against, that fly our way, which truly aren't obstacles. The obstacle is the resistance that we hold, because that's what keeps these events, these challenges from passing right through us. It's holding on to them. And if there is no holding on, if there is no resistance, then you can continue to move forward with ease. Your ride is a lot less bumpy.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel a deeper understanding of letting it go, and just like, I think the daffodils was a really good example. It was such a small thing, but I feel like I felt pressure to plant them, and just knowing I'm going to plant them, just let it go. It will happen. And, maybe in the past I've seen that as being passive in life and feeling like I'm being lazy if I don't go after acting or blah, blah, blah. But it does take I think for me, the person I am, there's pressure I put on myself. And that's the resistance that, discarding that and just giving myself a break. I have more fun in life and I want to, that's been a definite goal.
Yeah, and I feel like it's exactly what we've been teasing out in improvisation class about a focus on being rather than doing, rather than action. The focus is on how you're feeling, feeling of it all. And it's truly is a philosophical choice in where you want to put your focus. If you make your goal feeling good or reaching for the better and better feeling thought from wherever you are, and it's always changing. And so there's never a moment where you would ever even want to be 100% blissful always, because that means you're wrapped in a cocoon somewhere and not out there experiencing life and coming up against new things. So it's always reaching for the better and better feeling thought from where you are. And when you make that your top priority, okay, how am I feeling right now? Rather than what am I doing right now? Not only do you have a much easier time of it, but you truly have an opportunity to live your life versus the life that you think other people think you should have. And we talked again, it was a good improvisation class, I guess, this past one, because we also talked about it's the difference between thinking and feeling your way through life. You can live a life from your head and have, by many measures, a successful life by living from your head. But all you ever get are recycled dreams, recycled paths of other people. That's all your brain has access to, and that's all you'll ever have. And it'll never feel exactly right. It's like clothes that just don't fit you right. They're clothes, so they do the job, but they just feel uncomfortable. And so you never have that full feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction. And what this looks like when we're living in our heads and living recycled dreams and other people's ideas of what our life should be are things like, I need to get an agent. I need to do that. I need to do this, or I need to have insurance, or I have to have a day job, and then I have to do it this way, and then I have to, or I should. Any have tos or shoulds are living from your head. That is a clue that you are not focused on being, and you're not receiving the easiest path from your greater self for you.
If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/happybar.